YouTube. Well, today I thought about showing you all this 97 Taurus G with 66,000 miles. That's very low mileage for such an old car. Now, this generation Taurus ran from 96 all the way to 99. Of course, in 98 there was a mild little refresh with headlamps, the grille, and change of colors of the taillights. The G is the most basic trim level for the Taurus those days. I always had heart for this generation for some reason. I mean, it wasn't the most reliable car, with especially with the basic engine and transmission. But because in 96 when this body style came out, it was just the most interesting looking mid-sized car. Just about everything else was just boxy. I mean, look at that Impala over there. It's like an '04 model. It looks like an older car. And as a child back then, this car resembled a UFO or spaceship because just about everything is round. There's nothing the shape of a box on this car. Even the rear glass is round. This is the only car like that. And I always loved the rear tail light too. I mean, it was just one long piece, and it had like a little tiny lip too. I always thought that was a cool touch. And these cars look good when they had that little tiny spoiler on the top of the trunk. There was an upgraded model of the Taurus with a different engine that had the 3-liter Duratec motor. It was a dual overhead V6. Much more sophisticated engine, also had a beefier transmission that was more reliable. And step up to the Taurus Show. I always called it the SHO, but for some reason Show caught on. That had a 3.4-liter V8. It was a Yamaha built engine. I think like 232 horsepower. Not much more than the Duratec V6. SHO enthusiasts prefer the older generation, you know, the model that ran from 89 to 95. Also, there were stick shift models available in the early 90s. I always loved the nose. It was like a little frown. It's like, woo! Upgraded models also had keyless entry down there under the door handle. G models also lacked powered seats, but you still have power windows, locks, power mirrors, and just about most other amenities too. So, I mean, you're not that chipped. This entire door panel is cushiony, the armrest, and a little net right there. There's no key fob here. Anyways, let's start this one up. Yeah, I just want to give you all a look at this car. It's just not that often you run into them in decent shape and with such low mileage. These cars were just so comfortable, possibly best in class, more comfortable than the Camry, Accord, you name it. And interior qualities as well just blew them away. Yeah, start off with comfort again. These seats are just so supportive, hugs your back nicely. Decent thigh support despite this seat having a fixed position. It only rolls back and forth. There's no adjustments in this trim. Armrest that flips down over here, but this actually serves as a third seat here in the center. But you have a semi-center console. Just watch this over here. I always thought this was cool. This flips open, and yeah, you have a little center console now. You have the 3 cup holders, coin holder, and holders here for your cassettes. A little tray down below. So even back then, if you opt for the model without the floor-mounted shifter, you still had a center console of some form. So I mean, I thought that was pretty cool. The only thing is it prevented access to the ashtray and cigarette lighter that's right down here, the power outlets. Close this down. And take a look over here. You can just swing your legs wide open. You can have childbirth in here if you wish. It's just that roomy of a car. Very wide too. I don't feel cramped at all. So people of all sizes will feel right at home. Ooh, you don't see many of those. Anyways, interior quality, again, was also very excellent. Everything was just soft to the touch, even the airbag cover. One problem this generation Taurus did suffer was the dashboard, which had a tendency of warping, especially in the southern states. Notice how it lifted up over here. It just doesn't align properly anymore, yeah, like so. And just look down here, down by the windshield. It just lifted up completely like Kias of the 90s and early 2000s with the dashboards that warped up. Yeah, it seems like Ford just didn't do any testing with how the interior will hold up in heat. And notice the 2 AC vents right here. The one in the center should blow into the back. The ones with the floor-mounted shifter has a rear AC that travels into the back seat. So, I mean, that's one benefit to having the floor shifter. I always thought this design of radio and climate control was cool. Everything is just integrated. Reviewers back then found this confusing, but I just don't understand how. It's just self-explanatory. The upper half is the radio and the lower half is the climate control. What's so difficult to understand? This one has obviously the cassettes, everything, the 3 knobs here to adjust the AC, blows ice cubes, the glove box, owner's manual. It's not damped, but even the lid to the glove box is padded. Ashtray, the cigarette lighter. This car was a mild smoker. These cars always had a do not smoke pad underneath the ashtray. Let me see if this one has it. Yeah, there we go. Do not smoke. This car is a 4-speed automatic, pretty common those days. The Duratec and SHO models had a beefier 4-speed automatic, the AX4N. I mean, it did have its share of issues, but it was much more solid than the AX4S tranny that this one has. The hazards up above. Steering wheel is nicely thick. It's not leather wrapped. It lacks the cruise control buttons. That's another thing. The GL models have the cruise control buttons right here. It seems as if the dealer added the cruise control after the customer purchased this car. You can see the lever over here. It's a total afterthought. But hey, the car has cruise control. Panel dim, headlamp functions, intermittent speed wipers down here, and this is to tilt the steering wheel. The headliner's very cushiony. You have the dome lamp up above over here. Sun visors are nicely thick. No vanity light, but you have your mirrors. LX models have a vanity light. And same deal on the driver's side. And remember how I told you everything is just round. Take a look at the door handle over here. It's also round. Materials carried over into the back seat. Everything is just cushiony. And legroom was also excellent in the back seat too. That was one thing. The Taurus led those days. And notice the backrest, it has a 60-40 split fold function, but I can't find the strap that usually would have been over here. Probably it's accessible in the trunk. Now notice the legroom, I have the seat adjusted to where I prefer up front. And get a look at the dashboard again, very modern looking design. But yeah, legroom is just excellent back here too. So every single passenger in this car can be 6 feet tall and still fit comfortably and not ask for any more. Little ashtray. There's no cup holders. I think models with the floor mounted shifter have a little cup holder that opens up over here. There's no armrest. That's also another thing this trim level lacks. Another thing this one lacks is a button to dislodge the trunk over here, so I'd have to take the key to show you the trunk. And yeah, the trunk is just massive here. Probably best in class those days. The only thing is the hinges will intrude with cargo space. You have the spare tire. There you go, the little donut and the jack in the center. Let's see if I can just pop the seat down. I want to show you that. There we go. You can see right there the 60-40 split fold working nicely, so you have pretty good utility here. 3-liter overhead valve V6. It's a push rod motor. It's called the Vulcan. Has only 145 horsepower. This engine has been available throughout the entire lifetime of the Taurus from '86 all the way to 2007 when this body style was discontinued. I mean, it's a very reliable engine itself. You'd also find this engine used in the Windstar, Ranger, Aerostar. There's a 4K rev limit. It's very quiet. Anyways, YouTube, I just wanted to show you this car. Nowadays, it's a bit tough to find. This generation Taurus still rolling out there. I forgot to stress that there's also a wagon form available. There's actually a Mercury Sable, which is a more luxurious twin. It's basically a rebadged Taurus, but there it is right over there. They offer a lot more utility and have a third row seat if you need it. So YouTube, I hope you guys get a good feel of this Taurus, and thanks for watching, guys.